So welcome to Blue Technologies. So this is Master DevOps program on DevOps with AWS. Myself, Hari guys. I have a 12 plus years of experience. So what we will cover in this course, we will cover Linux, AWS, and DevOps tools, guys. So what is AWS? So you will understand what is AWS. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, the course instructor, myself, guys, I'm Hari. Mahari Cheruku. I'm a DevOps consultant and solution architect with 12 plus years of industry experience as a real-time and trainer. And I have a YouTube channel, guys, that Blue Technologies. And so I have done many certifications. Few of them are I am ITL certified engineer. I'm a Red Hat certified system administrator, and I am a Red Hat certified engineer. I'm a AWS certified solution architect associate, and I'm a CKA certified guys, certified Kubernetes administrator also. Okay. So, so what are the prerequisites for a DevOps, AWS DevOps? So what are the prerequisites? Who want to learn this course, guys? No specific prerequisites, guys. So anybody who is passionate to kickstart their career as a DevOps engineer, so and cloud practitioner can attend this program. And programming knowledge not mandatory for this course. So we will use some of the tools, guys. In the tools we need a coding, but that is not a functional or procedural, guys. It's a layman language. So whatever we are speaking or we are writing in English, right? The same way we can write it on the coding also. There is no programming knowledge not mandatory for this course, and graduates, undergraduates, backend developers, so web developers, non-IT background from who are interested to shift their career from non-IT background to IT. So those people also can learn this course, guys. So people who can attend this master program. So DevOps with AWS course outline, guys. What we will cover in this course. So we will cover in this course. So we are segregating modules, guys. So we will cover six modules: module one, module two, module three, module four, module five, and module six. So these all are the modules. In the first module, we will cover an introduction to DevOps world, and the second module will cover Linux operating system, and third module will cover the AWS cloud, and fourth module will cover the DevOps tools, and fifth module will cover real-time projects, and sixth module the interview guidance and mock interviews will cover it, guys. Okay, these are the six modules course, guys. So we'll discuss initially. We'll discuss introduction to DevOps. Well, what is DevOps? Why DevOps? So who are using DevOps? Why DevOps is popular? So what DevOps means? We'll discuss. Then we'll discuss slowly the Linux operating system. So Linux operating system. We need to learn must and should, guys, because of all the tools, whatever the DevOps tools, right? The DevOps tools will be in command line only, CLI. So we need at least a basic knowledge about the Linux. So how to operate, how to run the commands, how to execute the commands, right? So we need a basic level of Linux operating system, guys, and AWS cloud. So not only AWS cloud, for example, any cloud, guys. If you want to use the DevOps tool, so we can use it in the on-premise environment and the cloud environment also. So the cloud providers, if you learn any one of the cloud, for example, you are learning AWS cloud, so it will be easy to understand the other clouds also, because of the core functionality should be same on every cloud provider. Okay, if you learn the basics, if you learn the any one of the cloud, it will be easy to understand the other clouds also. Okay, the DevOps tools, what are the DevOps tools? We'll cover it in. So we'll cover the Ansible, Kubernetes, Docker, Jenkins, Terraform, Git. So we will cover main all the DevOps tools, guys. And so we will show you two real-time projects. And we will show you and we will give you the two real-time projects. So who are working on that project, you will understand what DevOps guys are doing in the real-time environments. And finally, we will support you the interview guidance, how we can prepare your resume, and how we can put it in the Naukri and the job seeker, job provider portals, and we'll give you some guidance of the interview questions, how we can get into a job, guys. So these are the outlines of the course, guys. So yeah, module one. So what is DevOps, or why DevOps, or DevOps lifecycle, SDLC, waterfall methodology, Agile methodology? Guys, does anyone knows what is DevOps? Guys, does anyone knows what is DevOps? Syed, Saket, Ramki, Ramkrishna.
Uh, Hey, Hari.
Yeah,
As per my
Syed.
understanding, yeah, what I learn about the DevOps
Hmm.
is the whole concept for DevOps is development and operations. Okay, so
Okay.
in that you can first build the code and you'll go for the testing. You have some implementation, that was the integration part, and
Hmm.
then you'll be have creating in the images and all that you will do in Docker and Kubernetes.
Hmm.
Sorry, in Docker, and there you will be go for the production. Um,
Yes.
so this is my understanding.
Yeah.
That's all.
So what about you, Saket? So what do you know about the DevOps?
I don't know much about that. Sorry, sorry.
And Ramakrishna?
So I don't have any IT knowledge.
Hmm.
So I am new to IT. I'm working as a non-IT right now.
Okay, you are working as a non-IT.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, you will understand. We will give you a basic level up from scratch. You will
Oh,
understand
oh,
everything, Ramakrishna. Okay, now?
okay. Okay, friend.
Yeah. So what is DevOps? I will tell you. So AWS with DevOps guys. Okay. So date. Yeah. So 15/03 and 2025. So what is DevOps? So guys, what is a DevOps? So Syed, are you working, right? Are you working as a different platform?
Uh, no, sir, I'm not working. I'm still a student. I'm doing my master's in.
Okay, very good, very good. So what about Saket is working on as a QA engineer, right? Saket?
Yes.
Yeah. So what timings are you comfortable, guys? So Saket, so what about Syed, you?
I don't have any problem. I'll be available. Uh, we can
Mm,
catch up at the same time, 11 o'clock
yeah,
IST.
actually I am a real-time employee, Syed. So it is possible from 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 in the morning times, and then afternoon 12 to 1 or 1 to 2 to 3, 2 to 3. So Ramakrishna, you are also working, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So your timings, what is the preferable timings for you?
I'm morning. Okay.
So Syed, you also okay, right, for morning?
At what
It
time
is
you said?
so so 6 to 6 a.m. IST to 7 a.m. IST. Is it
So for me, it will be like 7
so
o'clock.
which time zone are you working? EST or
No, I mean actually EST. Yeah,
EST, right?
here.
So so if it is a 6 a.m., is it comfortable for you?
Uh, I'll try to figure out. I mean, still I'm not sure about this. I'll definitely reach out to the one who I contacted for the blue days for
Okay,
this.
no worries, no worries. We'll
Yeah,
discuss later the timing spot. Okay.
sure,
So
definitely.
yeah, thank you. Yeah. So the class timings, we'll discuss about the class timings later. Timings, the class timings will be whatever it may be, but the class timings are Monday to Friday only. Okay. So Monday to Friday, and the duration of the course is 90 days. So 90 days will cover this course, AWS Linux with DevOps. So in the 90 days, first 15 days, the last 15 days will show you the so we'll show you the real-time projects. So last 15 days will show you the real-time projects, the lead to real-time projects. And so what we will cover in this course, we'll cover Linux plus AWS plus DevOps tools and real-time projects. What are those? So real-time projects will cover you. Okay. So the trainer, you already know the trainer, right, guys? The trainer is Hari. Yep. 12 plus years of experience. So I'm a AWS DevOps Solution Architect, guys. The course mode, so we'll cover you both offline and online and offline. So what we will give you, right? Live classes plus class notes. We'll provide the class notes and so whatever the images I'm telling in the class, right? That image also will give you. Okay. So and the recorded videos, guys. So we'll cover the we'll give you the recorded videos and I will give you the access with you guys. You guys can watch it a lifetime. So whatever you want to access, that access will be giving in the lifetime, guys. Okay. So we'll discuss about the doubts on the WhatsApp. We'll discuss doubts on the WhatsApp or else I will be available in the Saturday, Sundays, guys. If you have any doubts, you guys can reach out Saturday, Sundays. That and whatever the concept we covered, right? We'll give you the assignments also. Which one? Assignments for every concept, and we'll show you the real time projects also. Okay, so we'll provide assignments for every day and every week. We'll show you the real-time scenarios and we'll discuss about the doubts on WhatsApp. So AWS DevOps with the batch, something like batch is 54, right, guys? Yeah. Now, so we'll start. What is DevOps? What is a DevOps? So why DevOps? What is DevOps? So there is no meaning about the DevOps, guys. DevOps is a tool. So DevOps is a methodology or a culture. Okay. So what is DevOps? Why DevOps? So initially they starts the initially something like yeah, I will take you the paint, guys. So exactly, yeah, exactly what is DevOps? Why DevOps? What is DevOps? So before starting the AWS DevOps, what is AWS DevOps? What is DevOps? I will show you few tools. Yeah. The simple DevOps concept is DevOps is a CI/CD, guys. Please remember. So what is a simple DevOps, guys? Simple DevOps. What is DevOps? Simple DevOps. Simple DevOps is nothing but so a release or a deployment. Whatever the tasks we are doing manually, that task will be automated. So what DevOps guys are doing? DevOps people will automate the process. What process? For example, if you are doing a manual things, so DevOps people will automate the process. Okay. So something like a simple DevOps. So a developer develop that code and we need to deploy it on the server, right? So manually in the waterfall model, something like there is a two methodologies. So to develop the software development lifecycle. In the software development lifecycle, initially they uses the SDLC. So now they are using the Agile methodology. I will discuss, guys. No worries. So in the Agile methodology, once Agile methodology comes into the picture, right? A DevOps comes into the picture. So what DevOps guys are doing? Just DevOps guys are building the pipeline to deploy the applications. Building the pipelines to deploy the applications. Okay. So for example, this is the code, right? The code will be deployed into the server. The code will be deployed into the server. So the end user will get the request from app server and response from app server. So this Facebook, for example, this is the Facebook website. This website comes from the server, right, guys? So what is a DevOps? So I will tell you guys. DevOps is a delivery pipelines, and what is a pipeline? I will tell you the stages of a DevOps, why they are using, and the tools for using the DevOps. The tools, guys. So the tools are Agile, Jira, Eclipse, VS Code, Git, Maven, Gradle, NPM, TestNG, JUnit, Selenium, SonarCube, Jenkins, Circle CI, Nginx, JFrog, Docker, AWS. Docker, AWS, Ansible, Chef, Kubernetes, Splunk, Nagios. Right, guys? So these are the tools we are using. These are the images for the every tool, guys. So what is Jenkins CI/CD? So what is CI/CD? Lifecycle of the CI/CD. What are the tools we are using? Jira, GitHub, Jenkins, SonarCube, SonarType, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, Nagios or LK. So right. So these are the tools we are using for the to do the DevOps, guys. So we'll tell you each and everything. Okay. Yep, guys. So for example, so this is the website, guys. For example, I'm giving a URL. I'm typing the URL something like www.blujaytech.com. So blujaytech.com, right? So it will open these pages, guys, or else something like so if you click the www.facebook.com. So what is that, guys? So facebook.com. So what it is giving once you click the facebook.com, guys. So once you click the in the browser facebook.com, what it will give, guys? Saket, Ramakrishna. So it will give the web page guide, website. This website is nothing but a facebook.com. What it is asking the username and password. Once you give the username and password, right, it will open the your profile page. So where it comes from? This page comes from where?
Server.
Yeah, very good. So this page comes from server. So for example, this is the Facebook page. This page comes from the server. So this is www.facebook.com. So this page comes from the server. So for example, if you doesn't know the knowledge on the technically, so the people end user what they saying, it comes over the internet. But yeah, so finally this page comes from the server, right? So this server, so this is the server. In this server, they deployed the code. In this server, they deployed the code. For example, so what is the code? The Facebook code, right? So this is the a server, and what this server? For example, this is the CentOS 9 or 8. This is the Linux OS. So this is the server. In this server, what you installed? Java, Tomcat. Tomcat is the web server, guys. So what this is a web server. So this is the a web browser. What this is? This is a web browser. So if you click the request from the web browser and the response comes from the web server. The response comes from the web server. Your application is deployed under the web server. That is the reason I'm getting the pages. right? So once you click the username password, right, again it will go to the here server, and it will open the profile page. It will open the a profile page, right? Right. So who deployed? So what's behind? What is going on the server? Who developed the code? Who deployed the code? So right. Yeah. So in the SDLC. So what is SDLC, guys? Does anyone knows what is SDLC? Guys, does anyone knows
So,
what is SDLC?
software development lifecycle.
Very good. What is that?
Software development lifecycle.
Software development
Lifecycle.
life cycle. So software development life cycle. So whenever you want to develop a software, so we need to follow the SDLC process. We need to follow the SDLC process. SDLC process, right? So in the SDLC process, for example, I have a thought, guys. So I have a thought. A thought is nothing but a messaging. What is that? So my thought is messaging. I want to create a I want to create a application for the messaging purpose. I have a thought. So how we can implement this thought? We can implement this thought through SDLC only, right? So we can implement this thought through SDLC only. SDLC only. So what are the SDLC stages, guys? The SDLC stages are first, if you want to develop a website, we need to get the requirements, right? Analysis and requirements. So what are the analysis? Something like before WhatsApp. So how you are sending the messages, guys? Guys, how you are sending the messages? So manually, right? Through mobile phone, a normal message, a text messages you are sending, right? So and if you send the messages, we don't know if the recipient is received or not. Something like you are sending only the 234 characters only. So right, and you are not able to send the images, videos on that. So these are the analysis. So you want to create a website for the messaging purpose, and so this will overcome something like we need to send the images, we need to send the recording videos, we need to send the messages, and it will show the recipient is received or not, right? So for that purpose we need to gather the analysis. So analysis and plan, design, build, test, and finally deploy, guys. And finally deploy, right? So we need to plan or deploy. So deploy. So analysis we already did. So something like a planning. So how we can plan it? So what are the free? This is the messaging website, right? I'm trying to build the messaging website, and we don't know if it is successful or not. So initially I will go with what are the open sources. So what are the open sources softwares? So I took that softwares and designing. So what is the designing? My website should be the initially WhatsApp initially, guys, chat and contacts, right? So this is my website design. Who will build developers? So developers build the code, right? Who will test? QA team. QA team will test the application. So where we can deploy? So we can deploy application. Who need operational engineer? Operation operations engineer, we need to deploy this code into the servers, right? So who knows this one? So who will do this one? This will deal by the operation engineer. So operation engineer will do the deployment. Will do the deployments manually. Okay. Operation engineer will do the deployments in manually. Deployment. So deployment means, what is this? The letter is, guys, D. What is this? The deployments will be taken care by the operation engineers, the developers. So what developers are developing? Developers are developing the code. Which code, guys? So for this website, who will build the code? Developers develop the code, right? Developers develop the code. This code is for a WhatsApp, WhatsApp code. So this code will be built through Java language. Okay, this code will build through Java language, right? So here, what developers are developing? Something like what this web server? This web server is the Tomcat web server. Okay, so Tomcat web server knows only .jar or .var files. What is that? .jar or .var files. But the developer developed the code, developer developed that language through Java language. The code will be, extension will be .java. So we need to convert this code from .java to .jar or var. So through the a build tool. What is that, guys? So what is that? Build tool. And Maven is the build tool. So from the Maven, so we will convert this code from .jar to .var. For example, WhatsApp .jar. So who did this development team? Who did this development team? Who integrated? This is nothing but a integration. Who did this? Why? So this will be did by development team. What is this? Integration. What this is? This is a integration. So integration is nothing but a I, guys. Integration is nothing but a I. So I is nothing but a integration. D is nothing but a deployment. So how we will do this, guys? This will be doing through a manual process. Manual process. So manual process. So in the initial days, of the software development, so how they are following? They are following the manually. They will develop that and build the tool, integrate the tool, and so once the developers done, right, it will give it to the operation engineer. Operation engineer will deploy this code into the servers, because of developers doesn't know how to operate the Linux operating system, and operation engineer doesn't know how to develop the code. Okay, the development team develop the code, and operations team will deploy the code. So right, so for that time SDLC, so SDLC we have a two types of SDLC models. What are those? So we have a two types of SDLC models. One is a waterfall model. Initially, which model they are using? A waterfall model. So nowadays they are using the Agile methodology. What is that? Agile methodology. So initially they are using a waterfall model. So now they are using the Agile. What is that, guys? Agile methodology. Sorry, Agile methodology, guys. So what they are using? Waterfall model and Agile methodology. So in the waterfall methodology, everything through manual process. Manual process means this is the process they are using. So right, so this is the D means deployment, I means integration. What is D is, guys? So D is nothing but a deployment, I is nothing but a integration. So in the waterfall model, they are doing the a manual process, everything. So everything, and so how they are producing the, how they are deploying their code. So in the waterfall model, they are deploying the code in, so one say, for example, so from 6 to 1 year. So they will deploy the code. So every 6 months, every 6 months are a once in a year. So once in a year. So that time, so are we doing automate this process? Guys,
No.
every 6 months or 1 year. So is it need to automation for this? So every 1 year, once we will deploy the code, right? So do we need automation? This process is doing repetition. No, right? So that time there is no automation, because of this will be done every 1 year or every 6 months, right? We don't need to automate this process. Okay, so so once Agile methodology comes into the picture, once Agile methodology comes into the picture, so the deployments will be doing every 15 days. So every 15 days, they will do the deployments. So the futures will be deploying in the 1 year. So that time they have some limitations, guys. That time having some limitations. So what are those limitations? Guys, now you understood? Ah. So CI/CD. So initially in the waterfall model, doing? They are doing the integration and deployment. So there is no CI/CD. A DevOps comes into the picture, CI/CD comes into the picture. Okay, I will tell you. No worries. What is CI? What is CD, mice? Continuous delivery and continuous deployment. Continuous integration and continuous deployment. I will tell you guys. Yeah. So limitations of waterfall model. Why agile methodology comes into the picture? What is the limitations of a waterfall model? No working software is produced until the late during the life cycle. Once an application is in the testing stage, it is very difficult to go back because of 6 months, right? 6 months or 1 year. So it is very difficult to go back and change something that was not well throughout in the concept stage. High amounts of risk and uncertainty, not a good model for complex and object oriented projects. So it is not a good model for complex and object oriented projects, not suitable for the projects where requirements are at a moderate to high risk changing. So this model is waterfall model is having some limitations. Then agile methodology comes into the picture. So what is agile methodology? In the agile methodology, each project is broken up into several iterations. All the iterations should be the same duration between 2 to 8 weeks. At the end of each iteration, a working product should be delivered. So right, so in the agile methodology, they will be segregated into, they will be all the, so the methodology, a project is broken up into the several iterations. For example, chart model, for example, a chart model and the contact models or status model, they will be segregated into, break up into the several iterations. All the iterations should be the same time duration between 2 to 8 weeks. At the end of the each project is a working product should be delivered. Okay, once agile methodology comes into the picture, the future or bug will be deployed within a 15 days. So within the 15 days, 2 weeks time. What is that? 2 weeks is nothing but a 15 days. So every deployment, the deployments will be happened every 15 days. So once a agile methodology comes into the picture, the deployments are repeatedly we are doing the deployments. So we need to automate that process. So we need to automate that process. That time a DevOps comes into the picture. That time a DevOps comes into the picture. We need to automate this process. How we can automate this process? So developers are developing the code and operation engineers are doing the doing the deployments. What is that? This is a dev. What is this, guys? This is the a development people, development team develop the code and integrate the code. Up to integration, who will do, guys? Development team. And so what is this? So who will deploy this code, guys? The deployment will be done by operation engineers. Who is this? Operations engineer. Operation engineer. Okay. So what is that? DevOps. DevOps is not a methodology. DevOps is not a tool. DevOps is a methodology or a culture. So the combination of a development team and operations team work together and work together and so automate the process is nothing but a DevOps, right, guys? So here there is no, so here also manual and here also manual. So once we do the automation, right, so the continuous comes into the picture. What is this, guys? Continuous integration and continuous deployments. Continuous So continuous integration and continuous deployment, CI, CD. Guys, now you understood the once the agile methodology comes into the picture, a CI, a CD comes into the picture. What is that? CI, CD. What is CI, CD? CI, CD is nothing but a continuous integration and continuous deployment. So continuous integration and continuous deployment. So what is DevOps? Now you understood, guys. What is DevOps? Why DevOps? So what is a DevOps? DevOps is a methodology or a culture. DevOps is not a tool. So DevOps is not a tool. So we can use the development team and operations team work together and automate the process is nothing but a DevOps. Guys, so limitations of Agile methodology. Why DevOps comes into the picture? So the development team code works fine in my laptop, so wants to change, and operations team. So there is some problem with the code. It does not work in the production, right? So operations team wants a stability and the development team wants a change. So here we have a bridge or a gap between our development team and operations team. So they want a change, they want a stability, right? So then DevOps comes into the picture. The solution is a DevOps. The solution is a DevOps. A development team and a operations team work together and automate the process is nothing but a DevOps. A development team and a operations team work together and automate the process is nothing but a DevOps. Guys, understood? So what is that? CI/CD. What is that? CI/CD. So who provides the CI/CD solutions? Who provides the CI/CD solutions, guys? Yeah. So now you understood a simple DevOps concept is CI/CD. So continuous integration and continuous deployment. Okay. So what is DevOps? DevOps is the combination of cultural philosophies, practices, and tools. Increases an organization ability to deliver applications and services at a high velocity, faster pace than organization using the traditional software development and infrastructure management process. This speed enables the organization to better serve their customers and compare more effectively in the market. Okay, understood? So delivery the pipeline, CI/CD pipeline. Okay. So the pipeline, CI/CD pipeline, what we will do? Build, test, release, deploy, plan, monitor. What we will do, guys? So the develops team. So we'll build that code and test the code, release the code. We need to automate each and everything. We need to automate each and everything, right? DevOps code, plan, deploy, operate, monitor, release, test, build, right? Source code. So source code will be, we are developing the source code through Java. So we need to store that code in the version control. So that is a Git infrastructure as a code. So we need to build the servers, right? So if you need a server, we need to automate that server. Who is a Terraform TIAC tool will build the provision, the infrastructure provisioning. Okay. So configuration. So configuration is estimated. We need to configure the application on the 100 servers. I don't want to do the manual things. I want to do it automation. Ansible is the automation. Then virtualization, containerization, Kubernetes. So logging, that production environment, in the production environment, the development team doesn't have the access to the servers. We need to check the logs. How we can do it? Through the ELK, Elasticsearch log station Kibana. We can use that one and login purpose. So visualization, so continuous integration, continuous delivery, and quality control, the automation, development, everything will be doing through DevOps. Okay. What they are doing, you already know, right? Plan, code, build, test, release, deploy, operate, monitor. So these are the tools we are using for planning purpose, coding purpose, building purpose, test, release, deploy, operate, and monitor purpose we are using. Okay. So CI/CD, what is a Jenkins? CI/CD is the tool. So Jenkins provided a CI/CD tools. What is that? CI/CD. Who created that CI/CD? For example, many of the CI/CDs are Jenkins is the open source. Open source means a free of cost. What is that? So free of cost. So we can use the Jenkins and we can automate the deployment process. Okay. What is Jenkins, guys? So Jenkins is a powerful application that allows continuous integration and continuous delivery of the project regardless of the platform. Everything is a job in the Jenkins. So pull the source code, compile the code, build the code, test the code, deploy the code. It is a automate CI/CD work and release applications into the production. Okay. So we need a Sonar Cube code quality. Sonar type Nexus is the artifacty tool. Docker is the containerization. Kubernetes is the container orchestration tool. Ansible is the configuration management tool. ELK is the application monitoring tool. Okay. Yeah. So now you understood. So who will provide the CI/CD solutions? The Jenkins, Bamboo, Hudson. AWS also provided Jenkins CI/CD tool, AWS CI/CD, and Azure also. Every cloud provider nowadays they are providing the CI/CD, and GitLab also, GitLab, GitHub, Bitbucket also. They are also providing the CI/CD suite. But initially, who provided the CI/CD solution? The Jenkins is the one first developed the CI/CD Jenkins tools, CI/CD tool, and it's a open source. Open source means free of cost. Everyone can use it, freely download it, freely use it, and we can deploy our application, automate. We can deploy, we can automate our application deployment. Right? CI/CD in the CI/CD. So what we will CI. This is the CI part. This is the CD part. What CI? CI is nothing but a continuous integration. Okay. So continuous integration, in the continuous integration, so what we will do, so up to development environment, up to development we are using the CI, right? Yeah. So in the CI/CD, so this is the CI. CI means plan. First plan and code, build and test. So what is that? So we will plan how we can build this code, how we can, so in which softwares we need to use to develop the software, and which infrastructure we can use freely available. Plan, we can plan it. Then code. Who will build the code? The development team build the code. So once the code is built, so what we need to do, we need to integrate this, right? So who will this integration and the testing? Who will test this, guys? The test engineers will test this application. So we want to automate this testing also. Testing will be two types, manual and automation testing. For example, Selenium, JUnit, Gradle, right? Or Playwright. We can use the automation tools and automate the testing also. Okay. So this is nothing but a plan. So in the plan, so once the developer develop that code, right, they will push it to the GitHub repository. This is the version control system. And what is that Jira? Jira, right? So we need to plan the deployments, future deployments, bug or feature. So how we can manage? We can manage through the Scrum. Scrum is nothing but a 15 days, guys. In the Scrum, there is a dashboard, Jira dashboard. So what they want to develop the code, or what they want to deploy this code and deploy the feature in the next sprint. A sprint is nothing but a 15 days. In the sprint, they will produce a latest future software or a something like a bug so we need to resolve the bug, right? In the Jira dashboards, they are planning to what they want to deploy. Maven is the build tool, so we can build the code. We need to convert from .java to var or jar. We can convert it from the Maven and Gradle. These are all the build tools. And the testing, so we need to automate the testing also. JUnity, SL, Selenium, Playwright, these all are the testing, automation testing tools. We can include that one, and we can test the code. So once that is done, we need to deploy our code in the CD. CD, right? A CD is nothing but a deployment, operate and monitor. So how we can operate, how we can monitor, how we can deploy. We can use these tools, Docker, Chef, Ansible, ELK, Nagios, Splunk, Kubernetes. We can use this code and we can deploy our application. So what is this? How we can automate this process CI, and how we can automate this process CD. So who will take care of that? Jenkins will take care of the CI/CD. So DevOps stages. What are the DevOps stages? Version control, maintains a different versions of the code, source code management, continuous integration, compile, validate, code review, unit testing, integration testing, continuous building, and continuous delivery, deploying the build application into the test servers, performing UAT, continuous testing, and continuous deployment, deploying the tested application on the prod server for the release, configuration management and containerization and monitoring. Guys, understood? Source code management. Git is the source code management and Jenkins. So what Jenkins are providing? Jenkins, whatever the developer develop that code and commit to the GitHub repository. So we will create a pipeline. So what guys? So we will create a pipeline for a yeah. So we will create a from the GitHub. So we can in the Jenkins we will create a stages pipeline for the build. So once we will get the code from the GitHub, first we need to build the code, then test the code and code quality. Once the code quality is done, so then this whatever the image, right? That image will be artifact will be moved to the Nexus package management and deployed to the Docker or Kubernetes. Docker or Kubernetes. Guys, understood? Yeah, CI/CD. So build the code, test the code, release the code, plan the code, monitor the code. Guys, understood?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. So now you understood the what is DevOps, right, guys? Yeah. So the Jenkins took that code and build the code. So how they can build? First compile the code, code review, unit testing, integration testing. Then they will create the package or package var or jar. So right, so package jar or var. In the waterfall model, everything will be manual. So the developer develop the code and build the code. Once that is done, so the code will be some um, so maintain in the some of the repository. The develop operations team will took that code and deploy it in the servers. This is the waterfall model. But so in this CI, what is the CI? Up to package var or jar. So in this CA, who will take care of that? Jenkins will take care of. How they take care of that? They take care of through the pipeline. Pipeline is nothing but a coding. So we need to write a code for doing automation. Okay. So once build the package var or jar. So we need to deploy it on the servers. Who will do this? Jenkins through the CD. So we created a CD pipeline, then build it to the deployment. Understood, guys? Guys, understood? So Ansible, we can use Ansible for the configuration management tool, containerization, why Docker, and what is the monitoring tools, continuous, so Linux. So we'll discuss these many topics, guys. So we'll discuss these many topics. I will cover once, I will tell you. Yeah. So in the plan, guys, the plan Agile or Jira, code. So where the code is developing, the code will be developed on the Eclipse, VS Code, Git. So build. So for the building purpose, we can use Maven Gradle tools and testing purpose, TestNG, JUnit, Selenium, SonarCube, and release purpose, we can use the Jenkins, Circle CA, Nexus, JFrog, and deployment purpose, we can use Docker, AWS, cloud, any cloud. Operate purpose, we can use Ansible, Chef, Kubernetes. On monitor purpose, we can use Splunk and Nagios. Guys, understood now? Now you understood the what is DevOps and why DevOps, right, guys? So DevOps lifecycle, SDLC, waterfall methodology, and agile methodology. Now you understood the what is DevOps and why DevOps, DevOps lifecycle. Guys, understood? Guys,
Yes.
any doubts? Guys, any doubts?
So far, good.
Okay. Saket, Syed, Ramki, Ramkrishna, Kirti.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good, right? Okay, guys. Yep, guys. Thank you so much. So, guys, timings, the preferable timings. Sayed, so we can discuss later. I will call you. Huh? The timings. The classes will starts from Monday onwards, guys. Okay?
Okay.
Yep. Thank you, guys.